What's up, guys? This is rather a different type of video than the typical videos that you see on my YouTube channel or on my social media overall. I've been going through a lot of growth and a lot of things happen in my life recently in the last few months that have led me to this point of wanting to share, my experience with you guys, and also obviously, talking about trading and how whatever happened to me has impacted my trading as well. But first I'd like to start off with the general things. So you know, lately I've came up with the like different types of questions of my life where I was thinking about, okay, yes, I've achieved a lot in my life, but what exactly will I leave? Like, what impact will what I have achieved have for the rest of my life, but also for the rest of other people's lives? And then I came to the realization for me personally that these entire years, almost my entire life, I've always been focusing on, accomplishing the goals I've wanted, buying the things I've always dreamed of, trying to make more money, all these different materialistic stuff. I've always put it at the first place in my life. And I lived according to that, right? I woke up, I'd be like, yeah, let's wake up, let's grind, let's hustle. How can I make more money? How can I build that business and that business? How can I reach more people? How can I have more views? How can I have more followers, more likes? That was the main reason why, I always got up and grinded towards always trying to achieve something that is bigger and better than what I am today on that day. And I have to admit that obviously I was living according to that. I would associate myself with success. I would identify myself with the goals that I have achieved. And that, guys, not that it was a mistake, not that I was living wrong, because, at the end of the day, wrong or right is just a question of perception. But I've just came to the realization that for me personally, I have been blind the entire time because I was focusing on the wrong things. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. So when I'm talking about focusing on the wrong things, I was just going after my desires. I was going after my wishes. Focus on my, right? I was always on top. So, although, I'm a great person, I've always had a big heart, I've always been very helping, and I've always been open to help others, I would still put my own desires and needs on top of everything. And I'd be like, okay, if I can help someone, what can I get in return? And I always had like that in my mind, right? So the same thing with trading, I had a lot of people coming up to me wanting to learn trading from me, and I'd be like, yeah, sure, I am willing to help you, but it costs that and that amount of money. Because at the one side, on the business side, yes, I have a right to charge for this knowledge because all of this knowledge I have accumulated over the 4 years is very, very valuable. So it's okay and it's fine to charge for that because I have the right to charge for something where I've put in a lot of time. But it is a difference with what intention you do that. If your intention is to help people and you recognize the value behind that, right, then you have the possibility of charging X amount of money. But if your intention is to just, squeeze out and make more money on top of the money that you're already making, aka being greedy, then that is the wrong intention. So, yes, I've helped a lot of people along the journey, and that fulfills me. Obviously, it makes me happy to see that people can see success in trading thanks to my mentorship. But the intentions is what matters, and that has switched. And now let me tell you exactly what had to happen for me to recognize and switch that. You know, some people might encounter him earlier on in their lives. Some people might encounter him in the middle of their lives, and some people might encounter him around the end of their lives. And I am very, very happy and very grateful that I have been able to encounter him right now. And that is God. God has been there the entire time. Like everything I have right now, I wouldn't have if it wasn't for God. And I know that. But nevertheless, I put myself first instead of putting God first. I'd say, I've accomplished this. I did all of this on my own because I did that business, because I learned trading, because, I. And now I'm at this point where I'm really realizing that all of this materialistic things, all these goals and everything, that wasn't me. That was God. And I wouldn't be able to do all of this if it wasn't for God. And now also don't get me wrong, I've always believed in God, I've always believed in universe and manifesting and creating my own life, like all of these different things. I have been believing in all of that because I grew up very, very open-minded. But even though I knew that a God exists or that universe exists, I would always put myself on top of that either way. I'd wake up and be like, what do I have to do today in order to reach my goals? Period. Right? And now, in the last few months, God has been so, so, so present in my life. Like, I can't even describe how present, but just know that He has been very present. And He is giving me the wisdom of putting my body and my flesh to the side, of letting go of that wanting more, of letting go of that greed, and letting go of what people think of me, because that does not matter. Because everything in this earth, in our bodies and flesh, will pass. And the only thing that will live eternally is our inner self, or our soul connected with God through God's love. And those are the realizations that, have been coming up in my life recently more and more. And so I made the official decision to lay my life down, to lay my flesh and my desires down, and give it all in God's hands, and trust in Him that everything will make sense and that He will take care of everything. And guys, since I've made that decision, I've experienced miracle after miracle after miracle. And I'm not even joking, guys. Like, it is no joke. The moment you decide to put your flesh down and put God first and let God speak through you and act through you, through His love, there is an unlimited amount of miracles, and they happen every day, the entire day. The only difference is they are already happening in your life right now. But if you are not directly connected to God, and if you don't acknowledge that it's all thank God, then you will most likely be blind and not see those miracles. And I'm just talking from experience, because I thought, yo, crazy, I manifested my life, crazy, I created my life, without giving credits to who created me in the first place. So yes, I was egoistic to a certain distinct I was, and I am admitting it right now. And I'm putting this down right now because that's not the person I am anymore. I've changed, and that drastically. And now, instead of waking up and thinking, okay, what can I do to improve in my life? What can I do, to make more money or to start a business, whatever it is what can I do for you, God? What can I do for you today, God? And whatever that is, God will guide me, and that's how it shall be. I also never really thought that I'd get to this point of understanding the great, great difference between our own desires and the love of God. But I'm very grateful that I am at this point of realization with just 27 years. I'm still young, so I'm very grateful that I'm at this point right now. And let's talk a little bit about how God's presence in my life and how putting Him first and my own desires second has changed my life overall. Or let's start off with my life. So my life for the first time actually feels fulfilled. I've had a time where although I had everything, I ended up feeling like I had nothing. And that was because, yes, I was grateful to a certain distinct, but it wasn't the gratefulness that I was supposed to feel. So because of that, I always felt like there's something missing, like there is a hole. I have everything. I have a roof over my head. I have food in the fridge. Why am I still feeling like there's something missing? Why am I still looking outside to compensate that emptiness? And that is where God came in. And now God fills me entirely. So I could have nothing and still have faith and still be grateful. or I could have everything and still have faith and still be grateful. And that is the difference. The moment you put your desires down and you put God in first place, you will feel fulfilled. And now there's a saying that money doesn't buy happiness. And to a certain extent, it doesn't. What it does buy is freedom. Now, what we perceive as freedom, though, is a worldly definition of freedom. It's freedom of time, freedom of location, freedom of life, right? You can go wherever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want. That is great, but that is considered worldly freedom. So a lot of people that are rich and that have that status of worldly freedom, they are happy to that extent if they just focus on the worldly. But if they focus on their soul and their inner self, they will realize that you can have all the riches in life. You could be a multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire. If you do not recognize and accept God's love, then you will always have a hole. There will always be something that just does not feel fulfilled. And you will try and seek outside. You will try and look for things to compensate for that emptiness. You will buy a bunch of Lamborghinis. You will buy houses, everything. If you do not have faith in God, and if you're not grateful for what you have and for the love that God gives you unconditionally, there will always be that hole. So like I said, for me personally, I'm so grateful that I am at this point of recognition where I see the difference between materialism, goals, and worldly desires, and the difference between God and God's love, and why I'm actually here. So now coming to the point of why am I actually here? And the truth is, I am nothing more but a vessel for God. I'm literally a walking vessel that was created in God's likeness so God can come into me and speak through me and act through me. And that's all I am. That's all I'm doing. I have decided and accepted that I am God's vessel. And in that way, God can act through me every day. God can do whatever He wants to do through me. And I know that whatever it is, it's always the right thing. Because I trust that God has a plan. And I trust that He only gives me what I need. And that He blesses other people through me. That is the main thing that I want to be right now. I want to be God's vessel. I want to be loved by God. And I want to give God's love to whoever wants to receive it. So from this point moving on, I have no idea how I'm going to arrange my social media. I have no idea what's about to come in the future. All I know is that I am no longer focusing on my own desires. I'm putting that down, and I'm just focusing on providing as much value as I can and on spreading the message of God to whoever wants to hear it. You guys might be asking, okay, how has finding to God impacted my trading? Because that's a topic that I want to talk about real quick as well. So, my trading had been going fine, right? I can't complain. I had my ups and my downs like everyone in their trading journey. But since I've put God first and my own desires down, it is crazy. But my trading performance has been through the roof. And that is because for the first time in my trading career, I am only acting according to God, right? So I put faith in God. I trust in God that when I go into the markets and I do my analysis, that whatever the result is it is fine. So I thank God at the beginning of my session for the lesson that I will be having today. And it's either going to be a loss and I can have something to learn from it, or it's going to be a win and I will still have something to learn from it. The difference is that I am so composed emotionally where I never thought would be possible, if I'm honest, right? Because, as a trader, yes, you are emotional, you make a lot of money and then you get greedy and then you lose it again and then you're all through, your emotions are all crazy. But right now, I'm at a point where I'm just so relaxed because I have complete trust in God. So whatever the result ends up being for the day, for the week, for the month, I know that it is right the way it is. And the moment where I got to that point, I realized how big of an impact it could have to have faith in God while trading. And not just trading, but when we're talking about businesses, because the moment you put God first, He will put ideas, He will put business ideas in your head if that is what you wish for. He will bring people in your life that will, bring you steps further to what you're actually wishing for, whether that be partnerships, sponsorships, whatever it is. Like, God makes it all possible. He knows your desires. He knows your worldly desires. It's not like, yeah, if the moment you put God first, all your worldly desires just, end up being nothing. No. And whatever wishes you have, if after putting God first, you still have the wish and the desire to have a house, you still have the wish and the desire to have a luxury car or a watch, whatever it is, if you, after putting God first, you still should have that desire, God will make sure that you will get that. But I have to admit that for me personally, the materialistic desires are like getting less and less. I'm fully giving up my life, my desires, my worries, also my worries, guys, my worries, my anxieties, my fears, all of that I'm just giving in God's hands, because He is taking care of it and He will take care of it. Does that mean that I have the perfect life right now without worries, without, stuff that happens? No. But if there should be a situation that is a little bit difficult to handle, at least now I have someone to count on. At least now I have someone to lean on. Someone that can help me, someone that will reach his hand to me and help me out of that situation. And that typically happens very fast. Where in the past, I tried to deal with it myself, go for a walk, meditate, work out, clear my mind, whatever I thought that was, that was the right thing to do at that time. And to a certain extent, that did help me. But these weird or negative situations, however you want to see them, kept coming again and again and then again. And every time I was having a harder time on getting out of that emotion and that emotional state. So also reflecting that on trading, right? After a big loss, it hits you and you're down. You could be down for weeks, right? That big loss could impact your entire life. But at this point, even if I have a loss that is bigger than anticipated, I know that it's all God's plan and there's no need to resist what God is already doing for me, right? So I hope you guys kind of get the message here. So to end up this video, guys, I have something special. Okay, actually, I don't have something special. God has something special for you guys. So if some of you may know, I created an entire trading course from A to Z where you can learn everything about trading, right? It's for beginners, it's for intermediate traders. And right now, I was charging around $800 for that course because it is very, very valuable. And just after that course, you could literally get started with your trading journey and hopefully, your journey to becoming a profitable trader. And God is telling me to give that out for free. So I'm just going to listen to what God is saying, and I will be giving out a free trading course that actually costs around $800 to $1,000. I'm giving this out for free. So for whoever is watching this video right now and you want to learn trading and you want to get access to the free trading course because God wants you to have it, send me a DM on Instagram stating God sent me. Just write God sent me and I'll know exactly why you are in my DMs and I'll send you the access to the trading course for free. And now why I'm doing this is, if you listen to the entire video, you will understand why. My worldly desires don't matter. The money doesn't matter. What matters is the impact that I can have in this world, on how many people I can help to get out of difficult situations. That's why I'm here. I'm humbled. I'm just walking in God and in Jesus Christ. So like I said, if you guys want to have access to the trading course for completely free, just send me a DM on Instagram. You'll find my Instagram description down here, and I'll send you over the course. And whatever you do with that present from God is up to you. But if you're watching this video, there is a reason. If you watched all the way to the end, there is a reason. And if you've always wanted to get started with trading, you just have no idea where to start, or you don't have the capital available to invest into another course or mentorship, now is the moment, right? Now is the moment to get started. And if you start and you commit to taking the step of learning trading and on watching my course, don't stop there, because there is a reason why you got it for free. Don't waste it. So yeah, that's it with today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will very likely continue to post these type of videos because I know that God wants me to do so. So yeah, stay safe. God bless you. Peace out.